Hi there, join our exclusive WhatsApp community to learn more about cyber GRC.
All right, welcome back, everybody. And I know, I know for most of us, this was a little bit. Let me open the floor. Let's see some of the groups say one or two things around the exercise a little bit. Feel free to chat. And I know, oh, sure. Sorry, Maria. I just saw your, oh, 1 hour later. Sorry, Maria. I just noticed you pinged me here. Oh, sorry about that, folks. This is the best tax shelter in Texas, and it's not made of paper. When you hold up to 11 acres in Roxton, you ain't just buying an asset, you're buying a fortress. At this size, you lock in the Texas agri exemption. While the median home price in Fannin County jumped 16% last year, your holding costs stay low, while the industrial boom in Sherman does the heavy lifting for your value. This is the hole in the donut. It's the last undervalued entry point before the regional identity shifts completely. I don't know if you're following the news. Bonham is exploding right now with approval of multi-thousand acres of properties and homes at the moment in Bonham, Texas. So it's really a strategic location to be right now. From rural agriculture to high-end lake resort, you're buying the ground floor of a new economy. True love for your future is measured in foresight. Own more than 11 acres of the North Texas future today. I just saw we need help in green. Okay. But here's the deal, folks. IT audit is it's a skill of its own. What you see in those reports, the evidences you see, would be your life as an IT auditor. You would be testing. In this case, you use Word document for your testing script. Did I send a sample of the blank sheet? I think I did. Let me double check that. Let me see if I sent. Okay, let me send the blank one so that you guys can have access to a blank sheet of, yeah, you see me send one that says blank sheet. And I also upload all this to our portal, so don't stress it, okay? So the blank sheet you'll notice is really, really great because it will go with the assumption that, okay, you're testing this control, here are the evidences, go and test. And I'm going to send that to you all. For those of you that want to go in and actually go and test, what I did was I created a scenario whereby we have what is expected for a pass, what is expected for a fail. And it's important to be able to think from the angle of, if I'm testing, this is a pass. Typically, if all these criteria are met, this is a fail if these criteria are met. So let me, out of curiosity, before we bounce, let's see somebody from the blue or green or any of the team, just tell me what the experience was in general. Let's have one or two people say one or two things. Then, and I'm going to post to you all to see actual, so that you can actually go and test if you want to go and, test. Let me give an example. If I ask you, check for terminated users if they are still active. All you're doing is give me the list of terminated user HR, and I'm going to compare what HR gave to me in the system and see if anybody's active there. If anyone is active that is supposed to be terminated, naturally that's an audit finding. That's it. That's the test there. That's that test, So, all right. Anybody that wants to any comments, feel free to type also. All right. Thank you, Ahmed. Go ahead. Hi family, I'm excited. We are back here again, folks. This is Leonard, Texas, and this is one of the most transformational land we've seen in a while. The exciting thing also, folks, is the fact that we're just less than 30 miles away from Sherman, the amazing Sherman with Texas Instrument right now with the infrastructure, over $50 billion investment. We are just a few miles to Bonham, Texas, 5 miles apart to Bonham, Texas also. And guess what? Also up north, we are just 22 miles to Anna, Texas in Collin County. This is insane. And not just that, we are 35 miles to McKinney, airport, the new airport infrastructure right now. So we are very close to so many strategic locations right here. So this is a very prime area in Leonard, Texas. And guess what? About 4.5 miles away also, there are new developments and subdivisions being built around Leonard, Texas. The downtown is vibrant right now. We also have Highway 121, which is just about 7 miles from us here. Highway 11 is about 4 miles from us here, and Highway 78 is just 1.5 miles. This is amazing, really, for us. The road infrastructure is just spot on. Very strategic location right now. And the city leadership is very proactive. So this is a great investment opportunity for our community. And we can't wait to see what's going to happen in a few years from now. You know, our projection, looking at what we're seeing right now, is in the next 3 to 5 years, this is going to be a different monster entirely. So there's so much going on around here. So we want you to be part of these exciting times, and we can't wait to see you there. Let's make this magical.
Yes, hi, yes, Mr. Akin. So in Blue Team, we went through the document, we explained, discuss everything regarding how, again, for example, the access controls, and let's say, for example, the 1.2 is termination. We check the HR list, and also we check the for Active Directory list, and we cross-reference and make sure that again the policy, we as an IT auditor, we have to make sure that if the policy, we follow the policy, and
I love that.
yeah. But again,
You
one
know
of the
that.
things that go ahead.
No, please go ahead, Ahmed.
One of the questions is if the IT auditor found something wrong in the policy, should he inform the management about this? Maybe the policy is not. Yeah, this is kind of
Okay,
thing.
I like that.
Yeah.
The first comment this goes to everybody. I love this so much is, man, you won my heart when you said we looked at a policy. For everybody, yes, I know we're doing an exercise. Your first go-to is you look at the policy first. What does it state? Then you can do the testing, right? Because it makes more sense then. At that point, you can be confident to say, okay, this is what your policy states, right? So the question Ahmed asks is that what about if the policy, you see a gap in a policy? Ideally, because I'm doing audit testing, I'm not testing your policy in this case. You built your policy. If there's no sign off on the policy, yes, I can call it out. You know, you might have some policy, there's no sign off. Nobody signs off. Maybe there's no, what do you call it, version control. Nobody, know when it was signed, nothing like that. Then that's the problem. That, okay, can you give me the signed policy? Because that means leadership and management are signed off. But if it's a signed off policy, at that point, I'm just here to test. I'm not interested in what you guys said. This is your policy. You've approved it. Okay. The test goal is to test for operating effectiveness. I'm just testing. I'm not interested in. However, if the policy is not signed, that's a different conversation, because I'm baselining and benchmarking you on your policy right now. Now, it's a different exercise if I'm coming to test your policy. That's a different exercise. Maybe we have special audits, so I can test your policy. That's a different thing. But if I'm doing SOX control, SOX 404 control testing, I'm not testing the policy in that case. I'm looking at your policy to benchmark it, then I'll do my actual testing at that point. Hopefully that helps, right? But I understand what you mean. Sometimes if you see an obvious gap, because the honest truth is that, especially when if you're an IT auditor, if you are testing, you are too busy than worrying about checking their policy again because you have timeline to test. So you are testing control. So honest truth is I don't even know you have time to be checking all the details of their policy. There's a problem there. Yours is to test the controls and make sure that the controls are being followed. And at times, actually most times, it's a lot of testing you're doing. You're not even going to be, you won't have time to even start looking at if the policy is, as long as the policy is signed off by their leadership, then okay, there's nothing I can do. They've agreed. This is what their policy states, and they've signed up on it. If it's not signed off, then that's a different conversation. You can call it out and say, can you give me the signed off? If they say, well, they don't have anything signed off. Okay. I can make it a comment in my audit, definitely. So I can call it out if nobody signs up on the policy, but they all agree we should use that as a baseline. But I'll still call it out that the policy was not signed up by management or leadership. So another question, please. We'll be out of here in the next 5 minutes, guys. Just give me 5 minutes. And I'll send you guys, if you really want to play and test, okay? And honest truth is, I think the document I gave you is enough to help you understand the world of audit, IT audit. Some of you that have done audit, you will agree with me that it's a lot of stuff I put in that document. And I kind of simulated and said, okay, this is a pass, this is a fail, this is a pass, this is a fail. So you can see in between. The one I sent afterwards, the last one I sent right now, is just a document that has a blank in case you want to do a testing, you need a template, you can use that. I'll see if I can simulate another environment where you just go in and play with it and see if it's a pass. You actually go in and do testing. If you want to, you can do that. Okay, somebody said, our old policy. Yeah, so sometimes, most of the environment always want you to review their policy yearly. So they could have a policy and they have version control. They might say 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, and they would have the date they reviewed it, right? If I look at the date you reviewed your policy and the last date was 3 years ago, then we got a problem. Maybe there is no version control or somebody sent me the wrong documentation. Maybe it's not an updated one. And sometimes people forget to review and, sign off. If that is the case, I can ask and say, was there a sign off? Maybe somebody sent an email and said, oh, I approve it, or there should be some documentation around it. If it's a total collapse of negligence, then I'll call it out. Even though it's not my core controls I'm testing, I'll make it as my observation. Because sometimes you just call it as an observation because I noticed it, I'll still call it out. But it's not the core controls I'm testing for the SOX 404, but I'll still call it out. So you would have in your report the core areas, then you just have areas you just call out and say observation. It's a code word to say, I'm doing my job, I observe this, so you guys go figure this out yourself, go deal with it. Okay, now let's take one more question before we bounce. Oh, somebody said, no, you have access to your group. Don't worry, we don't. As long as we follow our regular guideline, we always keep the group for our team for as long as you want it. We don't remove groups. Most of us are professionals. We do the right thing. One thing I'll challenge you is, listen, guys, time is quick and things are fast. Use it well. Use the group well. Use it for your practice, the truth is when a class ends, live happen, people just do their own thing. So I always try to milk it as much as possible before class ends, so you guys can do a lot of things together while we are together. Let's use each other well, positively, right? All right, let's take Maria. Welcome to the Gainesville project right now. So we're excited to tell you a little bit about what we have seen in Gainesville that made it a big choice. So I'm here to give you a good insight on why Gainesville is a big investment opportunity for us. Top on the list right now, there's a lot of expansion in terms of infrastructure at the moment. So highways like 35 is expanding with tons of millions of dollars right now being spent on the expansion project. We have Highway 82, another amazing expansion project going on right now. Gainesville is very close to some strategic cities right now. Sharpen is going to be home to about $30-something billion investment through the semiconductor chip act. So it's insane. And as we speak right now in Gainesville, we have over 1,000 homes being built right now in Gainesville to accommodate people, workers that are coming from Sharpen to live in Gainesville. So it's just an amazing opportunity right now. The infrastructure is there right now, a vibrant downtown. They have amazing schools, including community colleges right now in Gainesville. So it's just a prime location. There are hotels in Gainesville, a lot of eateries, a lot of restaurants in Gainesville right now. It's just a harvest of opportunity right now. Now for the property itself, right now we're excited. We have over 140 acres of land available, and we subdivide each of those to minimum of 12 acres. It can range from 12 to 15 acres. Now the question you asked me is that why do we sell a minimum of 12 acres? In the state of Texas, it is important to make sure you have minimum of 10 acres so that you can qualify for an amazing initiative called the Agric Exemption. What does that mean? Agric Exemption simply means you pay less tax. That's all it means, really. It makes you pay less tax, as low as 90% lower than your regular tax rate. So hypothetically, your tax is $1,000 a year. You're paying $100 for the year. It's amazing. Then for all our investment, we also help you to lease it out to farmers to maintain it for you, so you don't have to worry about maintenance. We take care of all that for you. We take care of helping you to sort out the ag exemption for the first year and make your life easy. The financing option is there. We have a financing team, multiple banks that work with our team. They specialize in land investment. We have title companies that do a lot of due diligence. We have our surveyors that are the best in the world. They come in to make sure that all the survey part is properly done also, and ultimately give you peace of mind and just have fun doing it. Reach us on 214-649-8495. Again, 214-649-8495. Text us on WhatsApp. You can also reach us at info@landzille.com. Again, info@landzille.com. I look forward to having you on board as partners. Let's build legacy one person at a time. Thank you, Moby. Go ahead, Maria.
Okay, Mr. Aki. So there's a little confusion for me here.
Okay.
With the second part, the scenario that was a fail, right? So I noticed that what it said was that the document, I was reading the summary, says UAR not performed in 14 months, right? And said the document something about the November 2023. I didn't see that document. I was kind of confused. So should I have seen a documentation that was from November 2023 as being the last report? Or is this coming from after talking to the owner of, the HR department? I don't understand.
For the field.
Yeah.
Sorry, Maria, do me a favor. I'm sorry, I lost you a little bit briefly there. Can you repeat that fail part?
Okay, so the fail part, right? I was of the notion that documentations exist. And my
I
job
see.
is
Okay.
to
My
review.
bad. I see. I got it. Not all documentation was provided, and you're right. So I didn't have time to generate all the failed scenario. You could tell it's a lot of documents, right? So,
Yes.
so most of the ones you see that are passed, yes. I just didn't get enough time to generate a failed scenario. Yeah,
Thank
that
you.
was
That
just,
confused me. Yeah,
you're right.
was like, I can't see these things. Like, am I supposed to
Yeah,
just
you're right. You're right.
my or
You're
thank
right.
you.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that was on me. It's just a lot of documents to simulate.
Yes.
So I was trying to see if I can still simulate some things to kind of give us an idea of fail scenario, so we can have an idea of, okay, what is a fail. But if you know what's right, most time you can say, okay, they don't have this, then this makes no sense. So you're right. Yeah. Okay, let's take
Thank
movie. Thank you, sis. Thank you. Yeah, that's on me. I didn't have enough time to generate all the failed situations. And this is the first time we are simulating it in this format. For those of us that know our program, we change things all the time. It's just, I always think of ways to make it more relatable. And so it's just a lot of, I don't want to use the old document. It's still in the WhatsApp, in the portal, but I just created a new set of documents this cycle. Okay, go ahead, Moby.
Yeah, I just wanted to piggyback off of Maria's and ask, just so I'm fully understanding. Some evidences can be subjective in nature, where the only thing you get is what they're telling you, not necessarily what they're showing you. But they can answer the question to the best of their ability without giving you something to reference, right? That's still acceptable.
If it is, because let's think about it. Sometimes in audit, you are doing observation also, right? So it's a judgment call at times. But remember, the intent of audit is an independent person can equally reperform the same test and achieve the same conclusion that you did. So if I document it and you don't have I hope you have something to show me, a screenshot and evidence. Sometimes it's a sensitive information. Let's say somebody's showing you the architectural diagram, showing me their firewall rules. Those are sensitive. So sometimes you might not want to, they'll probably not want to give you the screenshot, because of the sensitivity of the data. So I understand that part of it. Um, but yeah, sometimes it's acceptable, really, especially if you can just make a reference on the conversation and make a point that if it is needed, it can be obtained from Bob or someone so that you can clarify that. The key is that, okay, somebody can look at it and go back and reperform it. So, okay, cool. Let's take one more question. We're on the dot. And again, ladies and gentlemen, this is IT audit, honest truth. Some of the guys on this call are probably seen IT audit or done testing, but this is really IT audit. IT audit is a lot of documentation. This is IT audit. It's a lot of documentation, but it's somebody else's career. Some people like, well, at this point, I'm not interested in liking. I think let's just focus on survival. We need a job, right? So that's why I took time to develop a lot of document because I'm thinking, okay, look, our people need job. Let's forget, it's not preference now. It's just, so I expect you to also apply for an IT audit role. That's the way I'm looking at it. Everybody should also, because let's look at, okay, one more thing before we bounce. Let me just open job. Let's look at some jobs out there, right? Because for me, it's strictly, I'm always thinking of, okay, what are the jobs out there? That's it. It's a crazy time right now. We just can't, we're not going to look at the negative, right? We have to just think positive. Um, that's where I look at it. We can't afford to think negative. If people are saying there's no job, there's nothing, but I mean, we have to take care of family. I mean, I just can't think that way. I can't afford us to think that way. We have to pivot. So every opportunity out there, third party, IT auditor, GRC analyst, risk analyst, anything, we're eating everything, really. This one is massive buffet. We're going for everything. We're not, no game now, right? So that's why I kind of took time to say, okay, let me try and push some IT audit into this so it makes sense. Apply for everything you see. Let me see. Let me see if I can give me some job board beside Indeed. Let's see dice.com. I'm not seeing a lot in ZipRecruiter. Let's see ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter.com. Oh, there was a couple of sites some of our team recommended we should check. I don't know why it is not. Okay, let me check. All right, let me share my screen. Okay, this is good. Apply to everything, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I would recommend. Apply to IT auditor too, everybody. You know, um, worst case, let them call you. Then we can start thinking of, okay, let's do mock interview. Maybe one of our community event. I want you, the way you focus on third party and GRC, I want us to focus on IT audit for our next community event. Because there are a couple of contract jobs out there. Let's go for IT audit role too. Let me see. Yeah, information. Sometimes they call it information technology auditor. Apply. Oh, yeah. Just apply to as much as we can. That's all we're gonna do. That's what we can control. Um, so here you can see internal controls. Now, the nice thing about IT audit is controls are the same thing. So whether it's cloud, whether it's database, whether it's large language model, change management, IT operations, logical access, your access control, controls are going to be the same thing. Now, the way they do the control for systems, it doesn't matter. Yours is terminated users, whether you're active in the cloud, in large language model, whatever, it's the same, control is the same, right? The system might be different. So you know your control. That's IT auditor, your role is to know controls, right? If you know your controls, you are good. The rest is not really no headache. Just know your controls well. That's the main thing. So I think for all of us, I want us to consider IT audit roles too. You know, I can spend maybe another time to just make us do some more labs in IT audit so we can have more opportunities out there. I would explore that, you know. So, all right, that's all we got. I'll see you guys on Wednesday. More to come. Just keep grinding, keep doing good things, and have the best week ever. God bless. Bye, everybody.
Hi there. Join our exclusive WhatsApp community to learn more about cyber GRC.
This is the best tax shelter in Texas, and it's not made of paper. When you hold up to 11 acres in Roxton, you ain't just buying an asset, you're buying a fortress. At this size, you lock in the Texas Agric exemption. While the median home price in Fannin County jumped 16% last year, your holding costs stay low, while the industrial boom in Sherman does the heavy lifting for your value. This is the hole in the donut. It's the last undervalued entry point before the regional identity shifts completely. I don't know if you're following the news. Bonham is exploding right now with approval of multi-thousand acres of properties and homes at the moment in Bonham, Texas. So it's really a strategic location to be right now. From rural agriculture to high-end lake resort, you're buying the ground floor of a new economy. True love for your future is measured in foresight. Own more than 11 acres of the North Texas future today. This is the best tax shelter in Texas, and it's not made of paper. When you hold up to 11 acres in Roxton, you ain't just buying an asset, you're buying a fortress. At this size, you lock in the Texas Agric exemption. While the median home price in Fannin County jumped 16% last year, your holding costs stay low, while the industrial boom in Sherman does the heavy lifting for your value. This is the hole in the donut. It's the last undervalued entry point before the regional identity shifts completely. I don't know if you're following the news. Bonham is exploding right now with approval of multi-thousand acres of properties and homes at the moment in Bonham, Texas. So it's really a strategic location to be right now. From rural agriculture to high-end lake resort, you're buying the ground floor of a new economy. True love for your future is measured in foresight. Own more than 11 acres of the North Texas future today.